and reject things of the main ways and the ways that they say that they want to reject this or that idea. They use social
Sorry, streaming. Thank you.
Okay, and how Yan, what do you feel when you see the topic at first?
This remind me about what happens at past year, about what happened to J.K. Rowling from Sean or Mulan movie, that they say something that offends to audience or someone, and then everyone is to want to do the cancellation to them.
People reject the movie because of the wrong input of culture. They feel that it's wrong that they are inputting the Asian culture to them, is it? Oh, now I want to pass it to the floor. Do anyone have any thoughts to share? Like maybe Joey or Brian?
Or maybe we can start from Ernest and then Andrea, Brian, Chin Yong, Dinosaur, Deborah, Grable.
I don't think they have to the point like we roll around and we just carve a few of them is okay.
Okay.
Ernest, do you have something to say?
Anyone? Different stories, different ideas? Ernest, you have to accept the invitation.
Maybe you can move. That's better. So, you can unmute yourself. Oh. Okay, never mind. Go on. So, do you have anything to share about the topic today?
No, let me do some research first.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Can someone else first? And then you go back later you got anything to say.
Okay, bye bye. So, how about Hui Hong? Do you have anything to share?
I think I'd like to know more context before sharing stuff, because I don't know a lot about the context. Can you explain more what is cancel culture?
Okay, then thanks. So I will start my sharing session. So for me, myself, what is a cancel culture? Cancel culture is something like I reject and I don't want these things. And people they don't want these kind of things, and maybe there are few reasons. For example, they don't like this thing. For example, another example is that there was this news that where people Malaysians reject an ice cream because that the name is Golden Gay Time. And people reject the ice cream because the words gay is printed on the ice cream box. And yeah, that's maybe one of the reasons why people don't like it. And for me, I don't. At the first thought, I was thinking that wow, people put gay onto the box, and some people might think that why you put gay, because in what we people know, citizens know that gay, this word is used to describe people what they call that word already. Men who have interest in other men and not interested in women. And Malaysians would think that once you put the word gay in the box, it might teach and also make people having the urge to know that become gays, and there's something like that. And another example, society, cancel culture is people want to stop Asian hate, so they reject people and don't want people to continue on giving hate towards Asians. So they use other channels like what do you call it? They use other channels like Instagram and also Twitter to have this hashtag called Stop Asian Hate, and they use social activism like what I said on top using Instagram and also Twitter and other social sites to say out what they don't want and don't agree with. They use the action is called as social activism. Yeah. So Joey, you have something to share, is it? Or maybe I'll pass it to Haoyan. Haoyan, do you have anything more to share?
Okay, I will tell about an example is about J.K. Rowling. So J.K. Rowling has she got cancer after a long time ago. The reason is that like she comment an article about creating more equal posts for people who menstruate, but she comment about the article about the article called those people who menstruate. She comment about why don't call women who menstruate. So later like people will tell that about like she may be respectful to the transgender. Like she thinks that like woman is the one that should menstruate and transgender should not.
Wow, seems like Haoyan lost his connection. Are you still there?
I'm thinking about her tweets a long time ago. And then also like Rowling, like she explained about his statement, about her statement also about she also respect all gender among people.
I think that there's also like some people also say that about their thoughts and also other things about it. Yeah. So I'll open up to the floor again. Does anyone have anything to share?
I would like to share something.
Okay.
I once had golden gay time when I was my friend came over to Australia. And actually I didn't know anything about it, but then my friend told me that it was very, very good experience, so I thought I would try it. So once I tried it, I did have a gay time. Because it's really, really good ice cream. Yeah. Sometimes people like I think cancel culture for most people it's about accountability. It's about being accountable for things you say, and then like especially if you are a public figure, things you say will have consequences. So that like people will boycott against you because of things you say, the actions you take. And I think that's just the normal part of being a public figure. But sometimes people go to ridiculous things just for like some nonsense reason to cancel people. And like a lot of times, cancel culture is based on like unfounded rumors or gossip, and it can ruin people's life. Even though I think there are, actually I'm still very conflicted about whether cancel culture as a whole is good or bad thing. I think as a whole it's still good, but I think there are some because it is at the end of the day it's a tool that people use. So people can use it like for good and for bad. So there's a lot of problemsome things around it also.
I have a question to ask. This
Go
question
on.
can be answered by multiple friends, who thinks that they have an answer. If you are the government of Malaysia, right? Understand that we are living together, with three different main races. Of course, we have multiple minority races, and with the government, if you are the government of this multicultural, multiracial country, Malaysia, would you allow Golden Gay Time as a waltz ice cream? Would you allow it, and why? Understand that you are the government. You also have to respect everyone's opinion on this, or at least try your best to draw the line as to where is the most appropriateness of this ice cream. Okay, so anyone would like to answer? If you are the government, would you allow or would you cancel Golden Gay Time? Right, so I'll leave it to you guys.
Okay, thank you. So maybe I share my thought first about what Miss Angie said just now. So if I were the government of this multiracial country, would I still allow Golden Gay Time, or maybe products that have had thoughts and also other people rejecting it? So what do I mean by people will reject them because of some other issues? And for example, I'll be thinking about the example Golden Gay Time. So why do people reject it is because of the name. So I can go and contact and also try. I'll still allow it because the wrong isn't on the product, because it's on the box, the words written on the box. So it's a better option. Like I can also get, and the producers of the ice cream also will get benefits. Like you can call them or maybe ask them as if it's okay for them to change words and also the names on the box. Maybe in that situation it will become more comfortable and people will also be okay on it. And if they don't want to, then I will likely go and ban the product. Why? Because we are in an Islamic country, and Islamic countries doesn't allow gays, although they might or may not know the real meaning of the word, but they don't allow it. The Bible doesn't allow it, so that's the main problem. So I'll go up to the floor. Does anyone have anything to say? Or maybe Howlin have something to say?
I think about the product name is the market strategy, but I think maybe also I agree with you, is maybe they can change about their names, because the final purpose of their name is to get more customers. So I think I will allow, if I'm government, I think I will allow they change their name to get more customers than ever that name.
So does anyone have a question?
Okay, so so if today you were to change this name, this Golden Gay Time, tomorrow would you change any other name that might offend you? Alright, so I'll leave it to you guys. Joey has something to say.
I have something to say.
Go on.
If I had to answer the question of if I would change the name of Golden Gay Time, personally, I wouldn't change the name of Golden Gay Time, just because in current times, gay represents men and men. And that's I think most people in the audience have heard of they'll say, oh, gay is happy, people make the joke, so I'm gay, but I'm meaning but I meant that as in I'm happy that type of way. So yeah, gay used to mean used to be the word happy. So if you think about it, probably gay type the brand itself is a pretty long, pretty old brand. I think if you can search up like how when it was invented. It was invented in 1959. So at that time, like the word gay was more associated with the term happy. That hence their reasoning they might put the name. The golden gay time is to have a happy time, because in Australian slang, having a gay time is actually having a good time. So like if you say that I want to change the name gay time because I feel like it's homophobic, I feel like you're being more reactionary than being actually thinking for the LGBTQ community. And speaking of that, like there's actually been petitions made in Australia, like for example, if you can find it, there was a Melbourne man launched an online petition pushing for the golden gay time to change its name, labeling it outdated and offensive. But if you really think about it, like even managing director Graham Watson has said that like it doesn't really reflect the views of LGBTQ community, because as I quote, I don't think the queer community is calling it for a change, and I don't think people are finding it offensive in a lightless. And conversely, the ice cream company has actually made multiple advertising campaigns in the past supporting the LGBTQ community. So I don't think so I feel like by saying that you want to change the name, it feels like you're trying to be more politically correct than to, like I said just now, like trying to think for the LGBTQ community. And you mentioned up the point that like Islamic countries don't welcome, and I might get your words mixed up, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember you said Islamic countries don't aren't as welcoming as LGBTQ people, right? But like if you look at the Quran, or like just make a quick Google search up, like there are like the Quran does mention like sex between men several times. So, and if you talk to like gay Muslims or like LGBTQ Muslims in general, well, who follow the religion, they will say the Quran isn't I would say homophobic, to say at least. So I feel like saying that it's the religion itself is anti-LGBTQ is kind of demeaning in a way, but I was saying the people who run the government, the policies, who make the policies are homophobic, and that's all I have to say for the moment.
Okay, thank you. So for after all, like what Joey said about her thoughts, if I want to answer a question that Miss Wendy left down for me, if I were to ban or not the product, like in this way, I would think that after listening and also thinking through about the question about changing the names and stuff, I think there is a better way for us to teach our people more about words and also the meaning of the real meaning of the words. Because why do people feel offensive because of the words? Because they don't really understand or know about what the word actually is, and also don't have enough knowledge in this part of us because we aim to like this during our schooling time and all those stuff. So I think I might pass this to Haoyan. Haoyan, do you have something to say?
No.
How about let us invite more friends from the audience? You know, we have quite a number of friends here. Joey has spoken. So if you guys were, just now we talked about you being the government, what would you do? Would you cancel this golden gay time? And what would happen if you actually do cancel it? Anyone would like to speak? If not, we will be inviting, yeah?
So does anyone have something to speak? Okay.
Agnes.
Agnes has raised her hand. But Agnes, do you have something to share?
I try.
And now my God.
In my opinion, I think if I'm the government, I won't cancel the brand or this ice cream name because I think this because gay time has a specific definition is I think it's a happiness moment or something. So this is the language part of to describe this ice cream. When you eat this ice cream, you feel happy. So they give this ice cream a name called gay time, the golden gay time. This is the language part. So at first we already doing a wrong definition to this ice cream. So why if I'm the government, why I need to cancel this ice cream just because of gay? Because I think this happiness is not equal to I respect the what's it called the trans not transsexual is the gay couple. I think it's not a kind an act to unrespect those people. So if I'm the government, I won't cancel this brand, and I'm also encourage that company to explain it and why we don't accept those gay couple. Yeah, although we are in Malaysia and Malaysia is not support gay couple officially, but me personally, if I'm the government, I won't continue this cancel culture and yeah, still goes on. That's my opinion.
Wonderful. Do anyone else want to share their opinion?
So Adrian requested to speak, right? Yeah.
Andrea.
Hi.
I invited everyone to speak
Oh.
actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I think I accidentally pressed it, but never mind. I didn't. I don't think that cancel culture is only related to someone is famous or big star. Like guys think that wouldn't say ice cream. I don't know the ice cream really, but my opinion cancel culture is something like everyone can gonna cause I actually I think my friend, one of my friends in Twitter actually gonna cancel culture because work I think, and then it's really ridiculous all the story is really ridiculous, and I don't think that cancel culture is a really good thing. I think that cancel culture is toxic.
And this is what I think. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, thank
That's
you.
great.
Daniel, do you have something to tell? No.
Daniel O'Brien.
I don't know. So Brian came first. So
Okay, talking about this ice cream. If I were the government, I would allow this ice cream as long as it makes people gay mentally, but not sexually. Yeah. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
well, that's deep. Okay.
Okay.
Oh my God, Brian.
You want to explain
Question,
more,
Brian. How are you going to make sure whether or not they become gay?
And do you want to explain more about your point?
Like, as long as
How
don't
are
make
you
people
sure?
gay, and I'm like,
That's
how are you
better.
going to make sure people will not turn gay or will they turn gay? Are you going to track them?
Yeah.
Are you going to follow them?
Yeah.
I will run a series of experiments on this ice cream to make sure whether it turns people gay or not, and only then I will allow this ice cream. Yes, I will run for government. Thank you.
Wow.
Well, okay.
I will support if you run for the
Okay.
government. Yes, yes. Brian as government, please, thank you. But I actually like, even though he's trolling a little bit, but for real I think his thing actually does work. Like you do a very big experiment. Oh, telling people, oh, you know, when you eat this ice cream, does it make you feel gay? If not, it's
Feel
only the
happy.
name. You know, like that could be one way.
So waste a lot of money for no reason.
Well, as long as people are happy. Okay, now Daniel, you have something to share, right?
I'm sort of against this because the definition of this thing is withdrawing support for or canceling public figures and companies after they have done or said something considered objectionable or offensive. And then, on my opinion, humans are just sort of social animals. We need to be in company of each other, so we'll just go berserk or something. So you just can't trust us out of our society, so just give them a penalty they need.
Do you mind to explain more because I didn't understand? Sorry.
Because I think too cruel already, this thing.
Do you mean like this culture might, if it goes too over the limit and it becomes to cyber bullying and also
Yeah. And it can really, it have the potential to make somebody go crazy, I think.
Wait, Daniel, are you talking about the culture or the ice cream? Is the ice cream making people go crazy or the culture?
The culture will make people go crazy. I'm not talking about ice cream. The ice cream case is just a example.
Now, would you, as the government, cancel the ice cream bill?
I wouldn't personally cancel the ice cream. It's just a word, ma.
we should educate our people more, is it? Educate them, make them know that the word is like this, So thank you, Daniel. So who else have anything to share?
Deborah.
So
By the way, I am inviting you guys one by one to speak. I am the one doing the inviting. You did not raise your hand.
I have another example.
okay, go on.
You know,
Yeah,
Ducky,
Fried chicken,
Dali, you know
KFC.
Dali,
No.
黑人牙膏啊
Oh, yeah.
used to be called Ducky in English, you know. Then they changed the name to Dali. but then in Chinese it's still called 黑人牙膏. You think that one should be changed? You cancel,
I think the name is nice, 黑人牙膏.
but isn't it racist?
It's nice what the name, you see everybody the first impression, 黑人牙膏, because it's black, that's why the teeth only will make the teeth even more whiter. You when you see on your side, you think, why the teeth so white? You see Indians when they smile.
That's exactly why it's racist.
No, it's like very good advertisement for their toothpaste.
But the
Why
black
do you have to
people
use
will
a black,
be
black
offended
person
because
as a character?
when you don't call people, you don't put your color onto it. Then you have something that
As something to say, if you look carefully, it's actually the face of English, their logo. So the Haven is just to mention the shaded side only. So I don't think it really counts.
It's based on an African American.
It looks more like blackface, Looks more like
No, it's not
blackface.
blackface. It's
Look at his
I
face
think the founder, he was like watching a show by a black person, then he came up with the idea of it.
I have seen that, but like
You look at his face composition, it's not like any African.
but like the early packaging reminds me a lot of like
But the
those
name is
blackface.
not 黑人牙膏 though. What you guys have to say about that?
Because they just simply misinterpreted the shaded part as the 正所谓黑人，所以他黑人智商。
No, that's their own marketing department. Not everybody else said the marketing.
maybe
Yeah,
people
you just cannot simply say 黑白人牙膏. It sounds funny, why should you say 黑人牙膏?
You're making up excuses for
And
you
then
can go for the 牙膏, why you need 黑人牙膏? You can just get 牙膏
Also can you can go
it's still
pharmacy.
the same, still being fixed.
So, Deborah has something to add on?
No, actually, no lah.
So basically, this is a fight between 黑人 or 白人牙膏. Okay, unimportant. So go on. 会后 you have something to share? Or Joey, you want to share first?
Okay, because I feel like a lot of the station things.
Yeah.
I think to start like the golden gay time and the Helen Yaka. And like I could be like an example, but like especially golden gay time, like wanting to change it. It feels like it has a bit of sexual correctness. It's a whole other thing. There's two different points of the cup.
How was it me or she wasn't clear?
Yeah, I was thinking like I cannot hear her well.
She's very.
Joey, sorry I can't hear you just now. You mind repeating
Yeah.
yourself?
Oh yeah, I
That's
want to
Malaysian
add-
Wi-Fi. Good.
No, I just want to say like a lot of like people trying to change names, or like especially the golden gate time thing. It feels like, I think just now I mentioned it before already. It feels just people trying to be more PC or politically correct, and I feel like by trying to be politically correct, you're actually harming people more. That's just something I want to point out. Yes.
Well,
But like talking about the piece, the Hero Knockout thing, actually, if it has nothing to do with black people, then why do they change the name from Daki to Dali, but not change the Chinese name?
well, because maybe Chinese people think that we are 黄人, yellow people, so there's no big offense to us. And if you are 黑人 that knows Chinese, then I'm sorry, because there's majority in people who speak Chinese and doesn't feel offensive in this. And like, Do we notice that? People notice that. Yeah.
So basically, they admitted that their name was offensive. That's why they changed the name.
I think that I feel offensive, and then there's too many people thinking that you're racist, and it's basically, and some people also think that it's racist, like what the discussion just now showed us. So, yeah, you have something to share?
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're loud and clear.
Okay, talking about the 黑人牙膏 thing, I agree with that they also should change the name of in Chinese name or in English name, like Ducky or Dali or 黑人牙膏 or 白人牙膏. That's not the point. They should change the name with the discrimination meaning. Like Ducky is, I think it's a word that is not respect to the black person. Like I see many people in other Discord group calling us like Ching Chang Chong, I think. Some sort like that. Something like that. That there's not respect to others. So I think the point of cancel culture is to cancel the unrespect to the others. The world should be more respect to others and no discrimination at all, and peace and love. Yeah. So talking about the cancel culture, I think got another thing like let me think that forgot already.
Yeah,
like, I think yeah. I think the cancel culture, the main purpose of cancel culture is to cancel the hate from one person to the other person, like cancel the words like there's not respect to others. So cancel culture, I think it can be there, but should be better ways, like not to cancel not the important things like the gay golden or what the ice cream called.
The golden gay time.
Golden gay time, yeah. Talking about golden gay time, the things there are the LGBTQ. I think this is not when they asking them to change the name. This is not respect to the groups of people who is the LGBTQ also. So I think the world should be peace and love and no more war at all, although in social media or what. So that's my opinion. Thank you.
Okay.
She actually has a point in herself, right? So how you have something to share?
Actually, I have a question about social media. Like, Yai is speaking about social media. I think what is the role that social media companies should play in the cancel culture?
As for example, Facebook and other companies.
Yeah, Facebook, Twitter, Google, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, those companies. And no, Instagram is part of Facebook.
Well, this is something to do with, is it the user's problem? Yeah, he's not here. Is it the user's problem or is the app's problem? Like, you have rules already and you have other rules and regulations. You try for people, not making people to have cyberbullying or maybe other harassment or other content that might offend to the society. This may be one of the things, but there is still people who want to try the line and go over the line. So is it the user's problem or is it the people's problem? And so what from what Dai shared just now, I got another point in what she says that we should have peace and love, and the link should be more highlighted in those more important subjects nowadays society. And one of the main things that I want to highlight out is that people cancel cultures that they feel uncomfortable with. And does this mean that if people, there's a lot of people who doesn't feel comfortable with this thought or this thing, then we should ban it? There is a small group of people who feel happy about this thing, so we don't need to ban it. Is it something like that? So let's pass the floor to anything? Let's pass the floor to Jacqueline.
Jacqueline, please accept the invitation.
Thank you. Oh,
Okay. Well, actually, I invited them. I think like
okay.
can we all agree? I think most people would just agree cancel culture is both good and not good. Yeah, I think like there is like a good to it and also a not so good to it. But which one weighs more? Do you think the benefits outweigh the drawbacks or the other way? I'll leave it to you guys. Jacqueline?
Okay, thank you. So Jacqueline, you have something to share?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, you're clear.
Yeah.
Well, actually, cancel culture was supposed to be calling out people, but then it turned into a whole trend where people went into groups and formed like these massive groups of people who went to boycott certain things, certain events, certain people, like what you guys said, like the daytime ice cream, and like Katy Perry or Taylor Swift or all these types of things, and they have a good side to it that they call out the negative things, but when it turns into like boycotting or negative impact of negativity, throwing negativity out there, or even like throwing shame and different types of like unreasonable stuff, of pointing out like very ridiculous things. These are most likely the negative side of cancel culture that I think is that I think people should put more focus on, instead of just saying that cancel culture is a good thing. Cancel culture is because we don't like this thing, like Mulan, and Mulan actually it was about I think Hong Kong had something to do with it too. But then I found that more and more people started joining in because the movie actually sucked. So I don't think that it's negative in that way, but I think that if cancel culture would actually bring a negative impact to the whole society, it would turn out like I think like daytime ice cream, and like you guys said, like the Islamic, because we're in Malaysia is an Islamic country, right? And I think that if daytime were actually to continue to sell to sell their ice cream, I think it would actually bring a negative impact to the whole society, because most of the Malays actually respect have their own religion, like the Islamic religion, and there is actually, we might think that it's because they're homophobic, it's because they just don't like these. It's because they believe in something. It's their religion, and I think that that's okay, because I don't think it's a very bad thing, because most Malays in Malaysia are educated, and if cancel culture on that ice cream were to actually take effect and the government were to ban the ice cream, I don't think it would make a very big impact either. So I'm trying to weigh out if cancel culture is actually effective or not. Because in the end, if the marketing team of like the Walls company, they actually wants to sell this ice cream again, they could actually change the name, or they could change the look of the ice cream, but it would still taste the same. It's still ice cream that people would still love it. So I think cancel culture, instead of cancel culture, we should change it into just calling out, just saying what we don't like. It's our freedom of speech. Yes, it's our right to speak what we want on social media or in real life, but it's also our responsibility to know, to weigh out the negative and the positive, the pros and cons of whatever we do. And I also wanted to say, you guys said the hair and yakao, the toothpaste. I think that hair and yakao, it was actually supposed to be like, because black people they have a darker skin color, so their teeth and look whiter to other people, and it actually represents like different cultures, because it was dark, according to Jerry, it was dark tea, I think, before, and because of Western culture, they're more open, and they have the right to call out things. They have cancel culture, or you might say they have the right to actually make a change. They have the will to make a change. That's why I think that's why the manufacturers actually changed their name, because English is spoken throughout most countries, and it's spoken by a wider audience. And on the other hand, Chinese, here in Yakao, we Chinese, I don't see us canceling this type of name. I have actually never heard anyone say, oh, this is offensive, this is bad, I want to change this name. I've never heard someone say that, including like the people who live with me, my family, or even my friends, like in school. I've actually heard them say here in Yakao before, but I don't remember the context. But I have heard them say that this was the wrong thing. So cancel culture, I think it has its negative and positives, but is it effective? Sometimes, but well, I don't know what I'm saying anymore, I'm sorry. But I think it's all down to culture and maybe the mindset of people of around the world. I guess, yeah, that's all I have. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
So after like the whole process of what she said, Cindy has something to say?
Yeah, I just like to react to what she has spoken just now. I hope that you guys as moderators, your job is not just to say thank you. You can react to what they say, and I would like to react to what Jacqueline said. I like that she said, the problem that it's okay for us to voice out anything that you feel is offensive, but the problem is that you don't have to act on it to cancel others. Her approach is that we have freedom of speech, but it does not mean that by this freedom of speech you could use this power to take down another. This reminds me of also another news that I've previously read, to do with this YouTuber calling out this restaurant this YouTuber was saying that Korean YouTuber was saying that this restaurant was not washing their dishes. They reuse the dishes, because it's supposed to be a barbecue buffet. Not a barbecue. It's a buffet, and he called out the restaurant for reusing the plate because he found that there's rice in his crab. It was this crab buffet, and then he was asking for another refill of crab, and he found out that there's rice inside. And then he was like, are they using the same crab or are they using the same plate? Like they didn't clear out my stuff or whatever. And he actually called out his followers to not visit or not patron the shop because it feels like there's a problem to do with the hygiene. So at the end of the day, the restaurant was impacted negatively. I think at one point their business was going so slow, the business had to be closed off after a few months. But then people were also quick to find that this YouTuber was also kind of lying, right? And then they say, this YouTuber is not honest. The rice actually did not appear on the plate. The rice actually fell from his spoon or something. And then after being called out by others, this YouTuber, he apologized. He went to the shop personally to apologize, restaurant to apologize, but the damage was already done. So sometimes when we were to focus so much of our attention on this cancel culture whereby we have the need to, something has to be done, are we ready to actually face the consequences? Right, so
aren't you talking about the good thing about cancel culture though? Stanley, I have a question.
Yeah, what is it?
Aren't you talking about like how and like this kind of like call out culture can be good also? Because he got called out, then he had to admit to his mistakes.
Yeah, it's good, but like calling out people is good. But like what I think what Jacqueline said was I agree to her quite a lot because she said calling out people, this is your voice, it's you expressing yourself. But the next step is calling people to, like what she had mentioned, boycott. Like to stop people from going there. We should boycott. Like I think recently with the Israel and Palestine thing, we are supposed to boycott Grab. Am I right? Because somehow, no, not Grab, Waze. Because one of the contact number of the Waze company is located in Israel. And like people were like, no, we should boycott Waze. Stop using Waze. Like, if you have...
This is ridiculous in my opinion.
But isn't boycotting part of the freedom of speech?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think like you can say, there's an issue with it, but if you want to call people to boycott, I think like
it's part of their freedom of speech. Whether people agree with them, that's the freedom.
My mother was sitting next to me and she heard the discussion. And then she said that
You cannot have say you are able to say something, then you cannot say, but then you cannot tell people, you cannot say this. Then how is it the freedom of speech?
I think that this is the power of
That's a particular thing you cannot say, you cannot call for boycott. I think boycotts, especially boycotts, are a way for the public to make sure that those in power, those in public, the public figures have accountability for their actions.
I think this is something to do like
I'm of course like stupid boycotts are still stupid boycotts and like
you want to let Jojo say something. She was trying to say something and you cut her off.
I'm not done with my point.
You cut her off like 2-3 times already, Mr. Jared.
No, she cut me off. I'm not done.
That's okay.
go on. Sorry.
What am I saying? What the hell was I going to say?
Why you all and boycott and
I think it's for the
whatever.
public to demand accountability from those in power, from the public figures. If we take away the power to boycott, then like those who are in power, basically we can not do anything to them. Because if we cannot boycott them, then so I think it's part of people's freedom of speech to organize boycotts, organize strikes or whatever. Because what else are you going to do?
Alright, then it leads me to my next question. Like, can boycotts be a good thing? Like, let's say general, like it is a way for you to, voice out your opinion, but if you were to look at the grand scheme of things, how many of these boycott sessions result in a positive impact? Do you have any stories to share?
No, because basically people think on boycott, and the next thing that comes up is negative. Because people will boycott the thing that they don't feel comfortable. Like what I said now, people will know the things they don't feel comfortable, and the other people who don't know what to feel, they will follow the bandwagon effect, and they'll be like, never mind that, everybody also hate it. I also hate it also kind of. And also one of the same kind, like one of our nowadays people's thoughts. So I just know that I know something.
Yes. I know some of the cancel culture only, but I know one of them is really good for me. Is boycott, the cancel culture, boycott to the
Hi? Am I lagging? Or is she lagging?
No, she's thinking help.
Oh, okay. Alright. I think like it's interesting for us to think of it from like another point of view, like how are boycotts good? Like are there any real cases to prove that you see like a boycott ended up
your question is loaded, Wendy. Your question is super loaded.
But it's where the discussion has led us, and it's very interesting for us to explore this side of things. Agnes, are you still here?
Cancel culture and boycott, both of them have one thing that is similar, which is they don't want and they reject, and also they say no to things they don't feel right. And what if the things that we don't feel right and we don't think is right is actually because of the bandwagon effect? Like maybe 1 or 2 say I don't feel comfortable, but 3 and 4 say that I don't think nothing about it, but because people don't feel right, so I don't feel right also. So it sometimes sees on the situation, but basically boycotting is sometimes not useless, stubborn, or maybe contentless. We have nothing inside of it just because you broke off for fun. Okay, so I'll pass it to Hao Yan. Do you have something to share?
That's also okay. Maybe like an example, like for maybe if I cancel something because of the climate change movement, right? I cancel, I reject the non renewable energy. Is that positive impact to the culture? For maybe more of something else that
What is the
sin is
question you're
possible.
asking,
The
Hao
sin is possibility.
What is the question you're asking, Hao Yan?
I think the question, sorry.
Are you asking a question or are you stating a fact?
No, I'm thinking about like you guys speaking about like the positive impact. Like this also like maybe like if today like I want to call out the climate change movement. I call out everyone to reject the not renewable energy. So is that really can cause positive impact or negative impact?
Talking like if we reject fossil fuel companies or companies that pollute a lot, what kind of impact would that bring about? I think that again. No, he's talking about boycotts, right? So, like for example, like a lot of the people are like boycotting like those big energy companies because they're polluting a lot. They're using a lot of fossil fuels. So they are boycotting them and giving them pressure to change their ways.
Or maybe it's more like if I want to make everyone become vegan, so I reject the animals food. So is that positive impact or negative impact?
It depends on the situation.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, so can we get
That's the only point.
Chin Yong to share his thoughts?
Chin Yong?
About this cancel culture, I have no idea. It depends on people. Depends on things. Yeah. So when something happens, something good, something bad, maybe like some people do some bad thing, then we cancel it. That is right. If everyone think this is crime, then this cancel may be useful for society. But something got controversial one, like this thing, some people talk good, some people talk bad. Then cancel this thing, you should think a bit. I think. Yeah.
Joe, are you here? Okay, I see that like Chin Yong is taking a very safe way. You know, like we look at what majority thinks. You know, when we use like I'm also a little bit worried about like what previously we have said. Is it possible that people are jumping the bandwagon, like what Jojo had mentioned? Ming Feng, you have something to add?
Yeah, in my opinion, for me, I will take it as a normal thing because we cannot do, because there's the pros and the cons, to about this cancel culture because if you follow the majority to support the people who are boycotting, maybe you yourself will not be like boycott by others. Yeah, sometimes people are like they are forced. Maybe they have their own opinion, they have their own suggestion, they have their own choice. But for me, I don't think that mostly people maybe they are not really touch on this kind of maybe the topics, their concern topics, and they are just they are following whatever they go. Like if their parents, if I am a youngster that I have lack of knowledge about the society, maybe the society is the other way around. What happens, what incidents happens around us, it's the other way around. We also don't know. We just follow the way, the river. It's like our parents like a river, and we are like a walker. Following the form, the shape, everything. Going to. We also don't know where we go, where we talk, what sense we are talking about. Maybe we ourselves also personally also don't know. So maybe that is the best way to. Some people they know what is correct, what is wrong, but some people they will just maybe they know, but they have to be secret. They have to keep themselves in a secret situation because they know maybe they speak up, they will get boycotted by others. Like and maybe this will cause some negative effect to the individual. Maybe that's my point. Thank you.
I think just now he brought up something very interesting. The people would know, like some people would know what is right and what is wrong. But is there actual right or wrong? Before we answer that question, I'd like to invite Agnes. Hopefully you are not laggy again. Jojo, do your job. I'm doing your job.
Hi.
Okay, thank you.
If I
Go
cannot,
on, Agnes, go on.
you guys cannot hear anything, please tell me. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I just want to share that. I think one good impact of this cancel culture, not only one, I think, is three. One is the product, which harm the marine system, marine environment, and I don't know when, and then they goes on and cancel culture and to boycott these kind of products which will harm the marine system, and it is very effective, and a lot of products cannot sell already, and that's the point one of the point, and then this make a lot of people start to look to the environment importance of something, and the other I think is a good cancel culture is the product, the 化妆品, they what is the name of the化妆品?
Makeup products.
They use animal testing, is it?
Animal testing, and they use chemicals which contains 铅. I don't know. I forget what the chemical name lah. Then
Lead, is it lead?
Is lead?
Yeah. PB.
Lead. Lead, and that makes a lot of people like 中毒. I don't know what 皮肤病然后中毒. So a lot of customer they go to sue, and then they go to boycott this product, and they are success, and I think it's a good cancel culture. And then I have a story that I experienced before. Is a cancel culture which a gang of 渔夫 I forget what is 渔夫 called. 渔夫 they gather together, and then they want to boycott the Penang government to 填海. Okay, hard to say 填海. And then because it lets them no more fish to catch, because they are 近海渔民. They are not the deep sea 渔民 I don't know what they call. So it also hurts a lot of the marine system. Same as medicine, because if the government start to do this plan, and then it will cause like something 50 years of marine system to destroy, and then let the, I think it's most of the 渔民 no fish to catch something. That's my opinion. Okay. Hope you guys can understand.
Yeah. We share the whole story.
Yeah, I do.
The whole point, which is like about I noticed that today all of us have our own thoughts about things that I think that's good, but there is also things that is bad about that in the if we do it all into one conclusion is that we also agree on the point where we have to cancel things that are really big and useless ones. So I would like to pass the mic to Gabby. Do you have something to add on?
No, I remember the thing that I want to talk about the cancer culture is the Wuhan 肺炎. Is that one of the cancer culture?
Name of
The name? They changed the
into
yeah because the global say that is the Wuhan virus or the disease Wuhan disease or what. So the people of China feeling shame or what. So they asking to change the name, like not calling them as the Wuhan 肺炎. It's same also in India, the 印度变种病毒. They also asking to change the name. So I'm not sure that is that a kind of cancer culture.
I think that during that time is considered because that the people of Wuhan and also other places feel that it's not comfortable for them. And then there's also people from other places thinking that, nothing one lah. Why you call Wuhan 肺炎 you want to change? We also know say something about 德国麻疹 and also 香港脚. Why you want to change your name? That's what people would think that. 反正不是我的 what do you call it? 反正不是我的问题。我爱改不改不紧，反正不关我的事。Like this is the type of thinking that nowadays people would think that because you have nothing to do with me, so I don't care. You call whatever, but once you feel offensive, then they'll give rebuttal saying that there's also similar conditions in other situations like that, but we didn't change also. This is something that also happened. So, Howie, you want to add on something?
No, I think it is more like political issues between organizations and countries. Maybe China is just want to get some political purpose or benefits to them. Yeah.
Well, it's also something interesting because nowadays people will add anything, maybe something into political issue, and they like to add it also. Ming Feng, you have something to add?
Yeah, sure. For me, just now, Jay has mentioned that the name of the virus. In my opinion, what I know is what I know from what I get from the websites and the news. They say that why we call the virus why we usually call the virus why we have to place the name of the location in front of the name of the in front of the word virus. Yeah, like we call that one virus. One virus before we put it, we call it COVID-19 virus, right? Yeah. So actually, that is not a main concern about the what is the name? What is the the pronunciation of the virus? I think it is a kind of it's a kind of telling is a 偏高叫什么
The type of thinking that people think that you call Wuhan.
Before that, we okay. People call the name Wuhan because they want to remember the place. They want to remember. They want to Ebola virus. The virus occurs in the near a place near the river for Ebola. I think mostly people know about this information, right? Yeah. So I think there is actually nothing to be argued about the names or whatever anything. This is a kind of a prejudice. Like people are like prejudiced. They are more to be like cancel culture to some ethnic like or cultures like for example Chinese maybe. I mean for Westerners like Americans those but actually there are nothing to be like argue. It's like just a name. Why you want to argue a name? Like everything like every people like everybody keep calling the place Wuhan, and for scientific terms, for people like scientists, they will just think like, oh, because the place already they happens the virus happens to be there, and we want to remember the place, and at the same time we have to educate our next generation to be like we have to be wear mask when forcing everything. I think that's kind of to educate or like to be told that the place tell us that we have to be more strictly careful about the no matter it's virus or anything, so we have to be like to more concerned about no matter virus or COVID-19 or SARS everything or MERS. When the virus comes, like we have to when the virus it affect everyone, we have to know the precaution what precaution we have to take, and that's the meaning I think, and that's all.
Okay, if I want to ask you about something, part where you said about people where you said that people just think about things that which are normal. So then
You are a little bit laggy, Jojo. You're a little bit laggy. Right, so our
okay,
time
then
is
I'll-
actually up. So, can you guys sum up the whole thing? Yeah. Yes, Jojo, sum it
and
up.
Joey speaks first, like
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah.
Yes, you should be the last one and then we sum up.
Yeah.
Joey, you want to add something?
Yeah, Joey, you speak and sum up also, and then leave it to Jojo to do the
Oh.
final sum.
I was gone for a little while because I had to do something, but I want to say that as a culture, like I guess most things they have like good intentions, as like when they pull up my multiple tabs. There's a way to like ask for accountability and like bring up issues for people to like let them know like, oh, this thing is happening and why you should like it's like to deplatform people of power. But like with also most things, like when there's a good side, there's also going to be a side which is like really toxic, really bad, or like how like something that has good intentions, they can be turned into like weapons and like used in a harmful way. And I don't know if you guys have mentioned it before, mentioned it just now, but like recently, just in our country, people like were boycotting McDonald's, like they're not going to their franchises, not buying their foods because they were allegedly supporting the Israeli occupation, the government and Israeli occupation, and they were doing it in a way it's like boycotting it, like, and they feel like, oh, for if I boycott McDonald's, not go, I'm supporting Palestine in a way, but like they fail to recognize that them trying to do this is they not only do not help to the cause of like helping Palestine, supporting Palestine, the Palestine government, Palestine people, but like they harm like the thousands of people, thousands of employees who are actually working at McDonald's, who have done nothing wrong and like are at risk of unemployment because they are losing sales because of the boycott issue itself. So I feel like these people, they have good intentions, but they executed it wrongly, and it goes to like a lot of things in the cancel. It goes for a lot of cases. I won't say most cases, but a decent sum of cases. Like people taking things out of context and saying like, oh, this person did this, and this, we should cancel him, and not thinking like maybe these things happened like couple decades ago, like and taken out of context, and feel like with a really good example of cancel culture, or like I won't say cancel culture, but like the act of calling people out and asking for accountability is the Me Too movement, which is, you can say it's a form of cancel culture, as people speaking up about their experiences and asking the what's it called? People who have done the wrongdoings to asking for them to not have a platform, to asking people to not support them for what they're doing. So like the Me Too movement is a really good example of asking for accountability, and a really bad example for cancel culture and asking for accountability is the McDonald's boycott situation. And I feel like with all things, like with such a when you have the power and like with social media such so rampant, you have to learn how to do your research and think like, is me boycotting or like saying this person is doing some X, Y, and Z things wrong, am I actually asking for accountability, or am I just virtue signaling? That's what I'm just saying. Then that's just the end of my summary. Yes.
Okay. Then, using from what Joey said just now, is that I want to continue on also one of the points, is that the point where she said something about the things that people are doing nowadays, like what X, Y, Z things, and also people saying out the facts, and also the things that their experiences, and also stuff like that. I want to add on and also do a little bit more on the summary, which what we did today is that she also like us and also the floor also said things about it's actually maybe because of the bandwagon effect, so that the cancel culture is kind of bad, and also people also think that the bandwagon maybe one of the things they have to do, and also the cancel culture, the cancel culture and also the boycotting, both of the actions, they actually have connection. But one of the main things that people think and also feel like is that they feel wrong. No, they say no, and also reject things that they feel wrong, and also stuff like that. And cancel culture needs a certain line where people will think that it's over, or maybe it's not over. Maybe because of cancel culture, people will also make petitions and also other things, like say no to some things that they think are important, but maybe it's not important. So it has something to do with people feeling right or wrong. Maybe people using the background.
I need to stop you guys here already. It's already past our time, and yeah, I guess that's about it for today. I'm so sorry to cut you off, but because our time is up already. Yeah, we should probably just follow the time. So let's move on to the training chat, and we will end over there. Okay? Alright, let's
Let's
move on to
go.
the training voice chat. See you guys there. Okay, yes, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say a big thank you for Jojo as in, to host this event. I know like hosting this is not easy. Yeah, you need to work on the fly. You need to listen to what other people have to say, and then you need to react accordingly. It's not easy. So a big thank you to Jojo for hosting today's discussion. Yay. And also a big thank you to you guys for participating. Well, no matter if we're doing like a big or a small discussion, I'm just glad that you guys can get to share your information. With that, I'd like to invite everyone to say bye YouTube.
Bye.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
Okay, thank you. And stream.
And stream. Oh yeah.
And we're done.